So as I was mentioning before proceeding with the actual syllabus, what is specified, right? Before going into that, we should know what all things or what all constructs are available in Verilog HDL. So in order to do that, we should understand the syntax, semantics, and other stuff in that, and what are the keywords which we can use, how we can declare variables or any other stuff, and what are the type of operators which are available. Then what are the control structures which are available. So these are the stuffs what we have to look out for. And there are a few additional concepts which are also present in HDL. So that also will be going through, and we'll be checking out how we can use it in the Verilog HDL part. Before starting off with the module, maybe another 2-3 classes may be required to just discuss and share and learn these things. Okay. Introduction to Verilog HDL. So as I specified, HDL is hardware description language. So let us see what actually HDL implies. So if we just observe, HDL is actually not hard and difficult language. Many of them HDL they specify as hard and difficult language. It is not so. Okay, so its actual definition is hardware description language. So it is a specialized computer language which is used to describe the structure and behavior of the electronic circuits. So I can just stress on this. That is, you use this language specifically to describe the structure and how that structure behaves with respect to the electronic circuits. And in this, these are nothing but the digital logic circuits what we have gone through in logic design and additional stuff. That's why we had to first go through few of the concepts related to digital electronics or logic design. So that is what is specified. So later we'll see how it is different from your regular programming language. Slight differences are present over there. So as we move further in HDL, Verilog HDL, or in general HDL, right, then we'll come to know a few of the additional parameters which actually differentiate HDL from the other programming languages like C, C++, and other stuff. So now here HDL, it enables precise and formal description of the entire electronic circuit. It may be just an AND gate. So AND gate itself is an electronic circuit. For example, you might have you might have gone through CMOS logic. That is in previous VLSI related aspects. So in that you come across these concepts, and you have even studied some logics which make use of different families. So using those, you build the entire electronic circuit. So how those things you define. So for that purpose, you go in for HDL. Now here, if we have precise and formal description of the electronic circuit, right? What happens if that is permitted? So if I have something in this form, right, then what would be the case? Now, if you just remember in C programming, right, if you want to specify some logical operations, you you don't bother how the implementation is done in hardware. You just write something. If you're writing like condition if A and B, something you are writing like this. So this is also logical operator, but how this implementation of the logical AND is performed with respect to hardware, that you are not bothered when you're writing this C program. But that those kind of things you can take care in the HDL itself. So that is one slight difference what you can just specify. So apart from this, let us see what actually why it is helpful if I go for such kind of language, that is HDL. So here what happens is it allows us to have automated analysis of the entire electronic circuit. I'll come to this statement later. And next, it allows us for automated simulation of the electronic circuit. So when you're dealing with the experiments, right, there you will understand actually what is happening when you're doing analysis and what is happening when you're dealing with simulation. So here, what happens is under analysis, when I'm just analyzing it, or when analysis is considered, there is no more use of time rather than for programming. So what does this statement specify is you are stressing more on the programming aspects. You are stressing more on programming aspects. Now, for example, in logic design, you might have come across some terms specifying that RTL family gives this much amount of delay. CMOS family uh, has lesser delay. So you might have come across these terms. So in so such kind of elements you are least bothered in the analysis. In the analysis, what you want, say I want to implement, say one expression. Say I want to implement a plus b something in this form. I want to implement this. So in programming, how you do that is you are stressing. You are not stressing the other aspects over here. You are not stressing how much time is required to execute this expression. So you are least bothered when you're doing that programming aspect, because the same expression can be dealt in different forms. You can simplify it, you can enhance it, you can do so many stuffs. Say for example, if you're doing adder, say whether it is a half adder. So in that you have two inputs, and say sum is the only output. So you'll be having 0, 1, 1, 0. So instead of simplifying, that is result is A XOR B. If A and B are the inputs, sum is equivalent to A XOR B when we solve the expression. So here either you can program it using the logical operator of XOR, or you can do A and B bar plus A bar B. So you can either implement it in this form, either implement it in this form. Or there are another methods also, such as behavioral model and structural model, gate level analysis. So those all we'll be discussing. So here what you're doing is you're least bothered about how much time it will be taking for the execution. So you're just concentrating on the programming aspect. So when you're going for the analysis part, but when you go for simulation, right, here what happens is time becomes important for us. That is, we have to look even what time is taken to execute the expression which is built by the electronic circuit. So what that operation has to be performed, how much time it is taking. So that is what we are looking in the simulation part. Any query over here? uh, I'll unmute. If you want, you can just so you have permission to unmute yourselves. If you have any query, we can discuss over here. One sec. It is not hard and difficult language. It is hardware description language. It is a specialized computer language which helps us to describe the structure and behavior of the entire digital electronic circuit or digital logic circuit. And it enables us for precise and formal description of the electronic circuit, say from the expression point of view. I have the truth table, I get the expression, so precisely I'll be able to define, okay, this is the expression which will define this logic circuit or the electronic circuit. So those are the things. Then so because of I can have precise and formal description for the electronic circuits, right, I'll be able to have some analysis wherein we do not stress more on the time. That is whatever I showed over there. We do not stress more on the time. We just stress on the programming point of view. And next one is it helps us for automated simulation. So when we get the simulation, we have so many stuffs automated mimicking of the circuit. So we write the code, we simulate it. So one example is say in Proteus, you are mimicking the circuits. So here time becomes important. Time becomes important. So we tried based on the simulation results, we can modify few of the things over here. So as I specified, if I use this expression directly, A XOR, if I'm using the XOR operation directly, say it is taking 1 nanosecond. But if I implement it as A into B bar plus A bar into B, so this might be taking around say 3 nanoseconds. So first I might have implemented in this way, it is taking 3 nanoseconds. If I want to reduce it, so I can use this, and you will be saving 2 nanoseconds. 2 nanoseconds is also critical in few of the applications. So that's why you even deal with these things. Now next, synthesis of the STL the description into the netlist. So you have something called as netlist. So this will be discussing later. Just I try to understand what is meant by a netlist, because when you go for say cadence, right, that time you will be able to identify, okay, what is exactly happening in netlist. So now we'll not bother about this. Just we'll try to see what it actually specifies. So it is the specification of the physical electronic components. So netlist gives us the actual physical electronic components. So it will be an entire list which will be specifying these things and how they are interconnected to each other. So you might be having some registers, some other stuff. So how the interconnection happens and which all things are present. So those all things will be available in the netlist. Now, in this one, what happens is we can use this and we can place and route it. So there is something called as routing in your netlist. So that, for example, if I have to specify in one form, right? So here, what happens is